The alarm screamed through the underground training hall before sunrise, not because of an emergency, because weakness wasn't tolerated inside Team Rocket. Jessie hit the concrete floor hard after another failed takedown, pain shooting through her shoulder as a rocket combat instructor towered above her. Again, sweat soaked through her black training uniform. Bruises darkened her arms from days of drills, combat exercises, and Pokémon handling lessons. Nobody cared if she was exhausted. That was the point. Across the massive underground facility, Rocket recruits pushed themselves through brutal obstacle courses, while others trained beside restrained Pokémon inside reinforced battle cages. Failure earned humiliation. Repeated failure earned disappearance. Jessie forced herself back to her feet. Blood touched the corner of her lip. The instructor smirked. "You're angry," he said. Jessie wiped her mouth. "Good." The instructor lunged forward again. This time, Jessie sidestepped and grabbed his arm, driving him deep into the concrete. The surrounding recruits froze. The instructor looked stunned for only a moment, before laughing under his breath. "There it is." Jessie stepped away, breathing heavily as her young Ekans slithered protectively around her shoulders. She was learning quickly, and everyone in the facility had started noticing, especially Giovanni. Hours later, Jessie stood outside the towering office doors at the highest level of the underground compound. 2 rocket guards opened them silently. Giovanni's office overlooked the entire hidden facility beneath Viridian's city. Dark wood walls, dim lighting, massive windows overlooking the training floors below. Power radiated from the room itself. But that wasn't what caught Jessie's attention. It was the painting, a framed portrait hanging behind Giovanni's desk. A young girl with long purple hair stared back from the canvas with calm eyes and a faint smile. She couldn't have been much older than Jessie. Jessie slowed slightly as she entered. Giovanni noticed immediately. "You're staring." Jessie looked toward the painting again. "She looks familiar." For the first time since meeting him, Giovanni's expression shifted. Barely, but enough. She was my daughter. Silence filled the office. Jessie wasn't sure what surprised her more. That Giovanni once had a family, or that he was speaking about it at all. "What happened to her?" Jessie asked carefully. Giovanni walked toward the window, overlooking the rocket training grounds. The world happened. Persian remained quietly beside his chair as rain began tapping softly against the office glass once again. "She believed people were inherently good," Giovanni continued. A bitter smile almost formed. "She died because of it." Jessie looked back toward the portrait. The resemblance unsettled her. Not exact, but enough to make sense now. Enough to explain why Giovanni had stopped in that alley instead of leaving her there. "You remind me of her sometimes," Giovanni admitted quietly. Jessie blinked in surprise. Except, his eyes hardened again. "You understand fear." The warmth vanished from the room instantly. And more importantly, he turned toward her fully. "You act despite it." Jessie straightened her posture instinctively. Giovanni walked back toward his desk and pressed a button beside a monitor. Images appeared across the screen. Security layouts, electric fences, armed guards, and at the center, a massive female nidoqueen pacing inside an enclosed habitat. Jessie stared at the image. "A Pokémon zoo?" she asked. Giovanni nodded. "One of the rarest breeding specimens on the eastern coast." He folded his hands behind his back. "Tonight, Team Rocket acquires it." Jessie looked back toward the monitor. "You want me to steal it? I want you to prove your loyalty." The room fell silent again. Far below the office windows, Rocket recruits continued training beneath the underground lights like soldiers preparing for war. Giovanni stepped closer. This mission is not about the Nidoqueen. His voice lowered. It's about whether you belong here. Jessie's pulse quickened. Breaking into a high-security Pokémon preserve sounded impossible. Dangerous. Exactly the kind of mission that could get her killed. But beneath the fear, she smiled slightly. The same dangerous smile Giovanni had seen in the alley weeks ago. "When do we start?" she asked. And somewhere deep beneath Viridian City, Giovanni finally began to believe he had found someone worthy of Team Rocket.